The fact is, of its population is almost 33 million people, over 20% are foreign-born, and more than 250 ethnic origins are represented. In Toronto, more than half were born outside Canada, like many of us here. The current ethnic and religious diversity is expected to continue going alongside immigration in the coming years, as Canada continues to receive more than 250,000 immigrants every year. Foreign Minister Freeland spoke at the World Jewish Congress in New York just a few days ago. She said, "In Canada, we know and believe our diversity is our strength. That's absolutely a core national value." Canada's path from diversity to inclusion, peace and prosperity hasn't always been easy. We have had stumbles along the way. The Canadian reality is that we have not been easy or fair to the Indigenous peoples. Toronto Muslim writer-performer Bunna Mohammed submitted a poem called "O Canada" to CBC's Poetry Face-Off that won him the title of Best New Artist in 2007. In the first line of his poem, Mohammed said, "O Canada, you stole the natives' land, gave them alcohol and make them sign the contracts they didn't understand." So that's part of Canada's history. The First Nations and Inuit people have lived in North America for thousands of years. However, by the time of the Confederation, the European settlers had taken control of much of the land. Treaties were made with many First Nations to move them onto smaller areas called reserves. A few days ago, the Toronto Star carried the title, "True North Strong and Conflicted," for a story on the 21st edition of the Contact Photography Festival at the McMichael and AGO. The festival provides a depth content from the Indigenous Canadians as well as tales from the other groups, most often left in the margin of our national mythology. That's also why in today's photo exhibition, we specially feature some pictures of the Aboriginal people. Yes, our history has darker moments. The Chinese hack tax, the internment of Ukrainian, Japanese, and Italian Canadians during the First and Second World Wars, our turning away of both of Jewish and Punjabi refugees, and our own history of slavery. Economic differences still persist between visible minorities and those of Canadians of European origin. Reported hate crime and perceived discrimination remain an issue. Political underrepresentation, visible minority and women continue to be underrepresented in our federal and provincial governments. Fortunately, in our communities, most of us keep our heads cool and our hearts warm in dealing with these issues. Former UN Secretary General Annan said in 2013, "Learn from each other and make our different traditions and cultures a source of harmony and strength, not discord and weakness." We are on the right track. Canada's success as a diverse and inclusive nation didn't happen by accident and won't continue without effort. Please take a look at our recent history. 2 decades prior to Centennial, Canadians have finally become citizens of their own country, rather than subject of the British Empire. The discriminatory Chinese Exclusion Act had been repealed only in 1943. The maple leaf flag made its first official appearance in 1965. 2 years before Canada's centennial years. In the centennial year, the Pearson government introduced a point system that makes origin irrelevant to immigration decisions. The door to a truly multicultural Canada was open then. Compassion, acceptance and trust, diversity and inclusion, these are the things that have made Canada strong and free. Though many of our 200 members do not rely on photography to make a living, their photographic skills and talents are even better than many professional photographers. Unlike CBC, we don't have the resources to produce a series of Canadian troops landing at Juno Beach during the D-Day invasion, or the boat people from Vietnam arriving on Canada's shore. But together, we want to give you a glimpse of Canada's diversity at this exhibition today. Together we rise is the slogan used by Canada Post in the promotion of the Canada 150 STEM series. As a Canadian, I'm tremendously proud of the countries Canadians have built together. So proud to live in such a beautiful and welcoming nation with a wonderful mosaic of cultures and traditions. We enjoy Canada's diversity, and through the fusion of different cultures and the shining accomplishments of our fellow Canadians from different parts of the world, we see unity and opportunities. Do you still remember Shane Croissant's poem, "We Are More" at the Winter Olympics in Vancouver? He said, "When defining Canada, don't forget to mention that we have set sparks. We are young. We are cultures strung together, then woven into tapestry. And the design is what makes us more than sum total of our history. We are the color of Chinatown and the coffee of Little Italy." With all these photos and the photos to come, we will show our children and grandchildren how proud we are to call ourselves Canadians. I would like to use the name of the song written by former Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, David Oney, to conclude my remarks today. We are the people of Maple Leaf.